I was driving to work one morning back in October, and the Radio 4 Today programme was what I was listening to. And they announced that Giles Fraser was there to speak. And I thought, oh, okay, clergyman must be thought for the day. But it wasn't thought for the day. Giles Fraser had been invited on genuinely into a news slot to talk about what he thought would be the impact on Christmas of whatever restrictions we would end up having now in December. And more importantly, what impact it would have on us. And what he said I thought was really interesting, because first of all he admitted wholeheartedly that he loved that the parties and the shopping and the wrappings and trappings of a normal Christmas, he loved that as much as anybody else, and that he would miss that. But that he also thought that there was a tremendous opportunity in the bareness that we might experience this year. A tremendous opportunity to refocus ourselves, our hearts, our minds, our souls on what Christmas really meant in a Christian sense. Because what he said was that, and he maybe didn't put it just exactly like this, but what he sort of said was that there's a brutality in the Christmas story that parallels maybe the brutality of what we feel we're living through now. And as I was driving along the Lochshore, what it really made me think about was a difficult Christmas that I had in 2014, so 6 years ago now. And the summer before that, my mother had a horrendous stroke, a stroke that has changed her life completely and changed the life of our family as well. And so my mother had to spend that Christmas in a nursing home. So as well as all the parties and the shopping and the wrappings and the trappings, this was going on as well. And we got to spend some time with my mother on Christmas Day, but then we had to come home because there had to be turkey on the table and there had to be stuff, all the stuff of Christmas. But what struck me that year was that if I believed that Christmas was about Jesus, it actually wasn't even about family. Even the people that are most precious to us at Christmas time, even the people weren't the most important thing about Christmas. And that's what I took from Giles Fraser when I listened to him there just back in October. We have this one dark Christmas, thanks to the hope of the vaccine on the other side. We have hopefully just this one dark, quiet, bare Christmas to exercise our faith. And I've been thinking about that a lot in the last number of weeks. And I mean exercise in that very active, deliberate, sacrificial way, exercising faith. And I suppose there are two verses that I'm thinking about at the minute. And the first one is in that story of the storm. So Jesus is on the boat with all his friends and they've been caught in this terrible, terrible storm. And everybody's in the same storm and everybody's in the same boat. But Jesus calms the storm. And then he turns to his friends and he asks them a question. Now, I remember talking about this question to a wonderful woman a while ago. She said to me, now, there are maybe two ways to read that question. She said, you could read it like this. You could imagine that Jesus asked his friends, where is your faith? And she said, I don't think that's what Jesus said. She said, this is the man who told us that if we had faith as small as a mustard seed, we could move mountains. So she didn't think that Jesus was denigrating his friends for not having enough faith. She suggested that maybe what Jesus had asked his disciples was, where is your faith? And that actually what he wanted them to do was just to refocus their thoughts, whatever level of faith they had, even if it was as small as a mustard seed, that faith would be completely focused on him. And I find that very encouraging because I think I would be at the mustard seed end of the scale. But this Christmas I want my faith to be very much in the baby Jesus. The baby Jesus who grew up to be the man Jesus, who suffered pain and agony beyond even the brutality that we may be experiencing now, through COVID circumstances or other circumstances, but whatever pain that we can live in life, Jesus has experienced our pain and feels for us. And so the second verse that I think I'm holding on to this Christmas is just Hebrews 11:1, that faith is being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. Because there's so much at the minute that we don't see, so much that we don't understand, but at the same time, there's so much that we hope for. So I want this Christmas to put my faith in the baby Jesus, who became the man Jesus. Even if it's a very different Christmas this year, even if it's bare and brutal, that's where I want to put my faith. So from my house to your house, I wish you an Advent season and a Christmas that will be faithful.